All right, so here's the one key system that Kawasaki has, and this is basically the standard one they have. This goes with Ninja panniers, or the same pannier actually also go on the Versus and all that. But anyway, this is the one part number that you would need to make your bike's key work with a pannier, or and I think this is the same for the side panniers and for the top box as well, just in case if you're wondering this one. But yeah, do confirm, I looked up and I bought it for the side panniers, and I know this comes in a set, so that basically means it has two of them, exact same parts, and for both sides. At the outside, it's 99994-0407 Kawasaki one key system. Inside, somehow I'm noticing it's a different part number for the rotor quantity too. So this was about, I bought it from eBay. It was about $50. This is what you get in the pack. So these are basically set of levers, or the positions for the keys to work, and it comes with the rotor or the drum, the main housing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and this is the main. Now there is one packet here that has springs. So the way this is supposed to work is basically you have, oh, right, let me take this one out. So basically you have this here, and then you've got your key that is with the bike. You push it in, and if you see, this goes all the way, let me take this out, this goes all the way to the end. The idea is to find out these 5 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we call it levers. These 5 different levers in different bags have different length, and where is it, yeah, different length, and this hole in there. So it's gonna be a combination of these 5. It could be any combination. You could end up you needing all 5 of one color, or you could be needing one of each color, or any combination. We just have to find the one that fits with the shape of the key that we have, and that's what is gonna make it basically a system, or basically be able to work with our keys here. What I have, since we have 2, what I have here is it's a recommended practice. Usually you draw this is the key, and then I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 different positions for the levers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'm going to do is, as I go and I figure out this one, the first one, I can just copy paste here and say, okay, the first one is a blue bag, or the second one is this bag or that bag, and then for the second one I don't have to go through this same exercise. The way we do this is, I'm sorry about my creaking chair here, might be coming in the video, but anyway, the way we do this is one bag at a time. So first of all, we do need the springs, and be careful, they're really tiny and they tend to fly just like any other spring, I guess. They do give us couple extra, but yeah, better to not lose it. All you do is you take the spring and you feed it through these little holes, and what this spring does, or what this is supposed to do, is basically these springs are supposed to keep those levers in place, and allow it to move when you put the keys in and out. So that's the first thing we do. Remember this one here, this is with the this drum itself, and all this is really to lock this in place when you put it in pannier. So this, you can push this in, it goes in into the pannier and it locks in, so it doesn't come out later. But anyway, so we've got the 5 springs loaded. I'm gonna go start with one color at a time. So let's do this. We take this, put it down, and now we want to take the yellow, and then all I do is this little notch, this one here, will go towards the spring. So that is what the spring, so just like that. And when you have that, push it down, it should lock in place. Yep, so just like that, and it locks in place. Just look for the same height as this here. Then I'm gonna go for the second one, same practice, and I'm gonna try to push it in and lock it, and do the third one, try to push it in. Yeah, see the springs are kind of pushing it back, but just be careful not to let it fly. And we've got this one here, and the last one. So the idea is to figure out, or to be able to figure out which one, if this particular setup for my key, my bike's key, is gonna actually need any of these levers from the yellow bag. So need to push this didn't go all the way, so that yep. So now let's do, take the key, push it in, and this needs to go all the way in the key. So if it's not going in, then that means this is not pushed to the point that it needs to be. All right, so still not, yep. And then the last one, this isn't going in all the way, so I'm gonna try to push it with this. Yep, so this is the way you see the top part where we inserted the levers. This needs to be flushed. If it is not, that means you need to push this in, it's not really sitting with the key correctly. So just make sure that sits all the way in, it cannot be outside, on the top side, remember that. If it is out and the key is not going in, that doesn't mean this is not compatible with this drum, it just means that it's not set correctly. You push it all the way in, the key needs to go in. Now how do you identify whether this belongs here or not, or you need to move on to the next color, is here. So if you see this here, I have these two, it's completely flush in the bottom, the 1 and 2. The other 3, it's not. So this is telling me that out of the 5 levers that I need for my key setup, looks like at least 2 of them is from the yellow bag. So I put the keys back, and what I see is that this and this, the positions coming from this side here. So I do want to write 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So from the keys direction I have is number 5 and number 3, that's flushed top, and bottom as well. So I know this number 5 and number 3 is coming from the yellow bag. That's all I need. So once again, right, so on the top where you put these levers in, uh, if it needs to be flushed when the keys goes all the way in. If it is not flushed and the key is not going, that means this needs to be pushed. It's not sitting where it needs to. And once you're done there, you push the keys in, keys goes all the way in. If you can see, it reaches the end, and then all you do is basically check onto the bottom. Anything that is sticking out does not belong here. Anything that is flushed, that's the color, that's the lever we want for our setup. So number 5 and number 3. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this out, and number 5 and number 3. So I'm going to take out everything. I'm going to push from this side here. Number 2 and number 1. And while you're doing this, just be careful. Make sure you're not losing, or you don't lose the springs. I'm gonna find something thinner than this, more pointy, to pull this out. All right, I think I found the tool I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and take 1, 2, and number 4 for me. So push the number 1 out, number 2 out, and number 4 out, 3 and 4. And don't let it mix. So 1, okay, in case I hope you noticed the spring wants to come out. I'm gonna make sure I don't lose it. And this, so out of the 5 from yellow bag, I got 2 that's gonna work with mine. So those 2 are solved. I'm gonna put these ones back in here. I'm gonna move on to the next bag. Let's do blue this time. And same practice. Now the remaining ones that I have, which is slot number 1, 2, and 4, I need to figure out which one works for me. And this here once again, right? So when I put the keys in, so this goes in, this goes in, this doesn't, this one here. So when I put the key in, it doesn't go all the way in. That doesn't mean my key or this is not compatible, it just means it's not pushed completely in. So I need to, so now if you see the top part, it's totally flushed for the most part, and then bottom also is flushed. Now once I'm looking at it, looks like this might be the combination for me, but I still see this one is sticking out. I know I said you have to focus on the bottom, but really the top one also, this looks questionable for me. So just make sure everything is flushed out. So for this combination, this one here, this is sticking out, and this is little in here. I don't think this belongs here. So we got lucky. We have the first attempt yellow that had 2, position 5 and 3 for us. I'm gonna mark 1 and 2 as blue, so I do think this is gonna work. So 1 and 2 is blue for me, and I'll go figure out what the position 4 will be. So let me go ahead. So this time as I go, I'm gonna take the key out, keep everything in place, and only push number 4 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, because that one does not belong there. So number 4 out. I'm gonna put it back in the blue bag, and I'll move on to the next color. And now I only have to test one, number 4 position. So I'll see which one works, and we'll find the final combination for us. All right, so I did go ahead and I tested the remaining different colors, and I've kind of found the combination that works for my key. So if you see, everything is very flushed here on this side, everything is very flushed in the bottom here. This thing here is just a lock, so when you push this into the panniers, we're gonna have to kind of push this in so it keeps it there. So every time you pull the keys out, it doesn't pull the lever, or sorry, this particular drum as well. So we're done with the one side. So when you put the keys in, this is all flushed. This is what you're looking for. Comes out, and then you have these things basically locking it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this, use this little cover that came with it earlier. I'm gonna put this in place for now so it doesn't fall, and this is one side of the panniers ready. I'm gonna move all the extra from these bags aside and basically move on to the next set. Again, it's the same practice we will have, but this time I don't have to do the experiment. I know exactly which colors at what position this will work for me, because I made a note. So I'm gonna move my notes aside, and all I do is basically go ahead, take those colors for those positions and put it in here. So no more kind of testing it. But this is really very easy, and this is the way to do it. Now there is a trick on basically getting this into the panniers. When we get there, I'll load another video to kind of have the panniers installed and show the instructions there. But this was just to kind of figure out what key or what lever combination would work with your ignition key. And yeah, that's it for this one here. I'm gonna go ahead and just follow my note. Once again, all the springs here, load the springs. I'm gonna take the ones that I know, like for example, I have blue in the first two, so I'm gonna go take 2 from this, put that in here. I have other color here, I have other color here, whatever, I find the 5, and that's it. This will work. So follow the first part of the video for the first one, and then the second one, just make a note, know which color went where, and just kind of go ahead and get that straight up. So that's it for now. I'll have this ready. Keep an eye for the pannier itself, the installation. When I do that, I'll upload that video as well. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But this is fun. I've not done this before ever, and everywhere Kawasaki said it's dealer installed and all that, but it's fairly easy. So yeah, don't be afraid of kind of doing it yourself. This was about 48 or 50 buck. Yeah, I think about 50 buck on eBay. And I had a little bad experience with one of the seller they sent, and it had only one set. So just be careful. Like the real set would actually have 2 of these. It says 1, but that one is actually a set. And when you look inside the box, you'll find this part number, and it does say it has 2 sets. So yeah, I mean, if you only find one and someone is saying that if you buy 2 different boxes, it's not right. It comes as set and costs, at least on eBay, about 50 buck. That's all for now. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for visiting the the channel here. Like, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good one, guys.